The Galactic Youth Integration Academy floated in perfect orbit around Sanctuary Station, a monument to peaceful coexistence among the stars. Within its pristine halls, young beings from 47 different species learned together, played together, and supposedly feared nothing together. That illusion shattered the moment Kiro walked through the door. The cub stood barely 3 feet tall, covered in midnight black fur striped with crimson patterns that seemed to pulse with internal heat. 6 amber eyes scanned the classroom with predatory precision, and when Kiro's lips parted in what might have been curiosity, rows of crystalline teeth caught the light like shattered diamonds. The tail thick as a grown Valorian's arm swayed behind the small form with hypnotic menace. Instructor Velmoth, a peaceful herbivore from the Talasian Collective, felt every one of his 3 hearts skip simultaneously. The datapad trembled in his manipulator appendages as recognition bloomed with cold horror. A Theraxian. A juvenile Theraxian Deathstalker, apex predator of Therax Prime, a planet so hostile that Galactic Council had classified it as Deathworld Class Omega. No Theraxian had ever attended the Academy. No Theraxian had ever been allowed near children of other species. Until today. "Good morning, Instructor," Kiro said, voice surprisingly soft, almost melodic. The translator chip embedded in the cub's collar struggled with the rumbling undertones that made every word sound like distant thunder. "I am Kiro. My parents sent me to learn." Velmoth's students had frozen. 32 young beings sat motionless at their learning stations, survival instincts screaming warnings that evolution had burned into their genetic code. The Valorian twins huddled together, their natural camouflage flickering uselessly. The crystalline from Praxis 7 had literally locked into defensive configuration, becoming a rigid statue. Even the usually boisterous methane breathers in their environmental suits had gone completely silent. All except one. "Hi!" Lyra waved enthusiastically from her seat near the back, her small human hand cutting through the tension like it didn't exist. "I'm Lyra. Do you want to sit here?" Nobody sits next to me anyway. The classroom somehow became even quieter. Humans. The galaxy's newest members. Still controversial, still debated in council chambers. Earth another death world, though ranked merely Class 7 compared to Therax Prime's Omega status. Humans were strange, adaptable, seemingly oblivious to danger that other species recognized instantly. Kiro's 6 eyes focused on Lyra with the intensity of a hunter acquiring prey. The cub moved forward with fluid grace that defied physics, each step silent despite razor-sharp claws that could shred durasteel. Students pressed themselves against walls as Kiro passed, some making distress sounds in frequencies Lyra couldn't hear. "Thank you," Kiro said, settling into the seat beside the human child with surprising delicacy. The chair groaned under the cub's density. Theraxians possessed bones like compressed titanium and muscles that could generate force exceeding industrial machinery. "You are not afraid?" Lyra shrugged, already pulling out her learning tablet. "Why would I be?" "You seem nice." "I am a predator," Kiro stated factually, as if explaining basic mathematics. "My species has killed thousands. We are among the most dangerous beings in the galaxy. Your fear response should be activating." "Oh," Lyra considered this, tilting her head. "Well, my cat back home is a predator too. Mr. Whiskers brings me dead mice sometimes. Are you like Mr. Whiskers?" For the first time in Instructor Velmoth's long career, he witnessed something unprecedented. A Theraxian Deathstalker appeared genuinely confused. "I do not know what Mr. Whiskers is," Kiro admitted. "He's a cat, small, furry, has claws and teeth. Super cute," Lyra beamed. "You're kind of cute too, actually. Your stripes are really pretty." Every translator in the room must have malfunctioned simultaneously, because surely this human child had not just called a Theraxian cute. The word didn't exist in Theraxian language. The concept seemed fundamentally impossible. Kiro's 6 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep thought among the species. "On my world, nothing calls us cute. They call us death. They call us nightmare. They call us the reason evolution created fear." "That's sad," Lyra said simply. "Everyone should have friends." "Class!" Velmoth finally found his voice, though it emerged as a strangled whisper. Let us begin today's lesson on mathematical harmonics." The lesson proceeded in surreal fashion. While other students maintained maximum distance, Lyra chatted with Kiro as if they were discussing weather, rather than sitting beside a creature that could theoretically tear through the hull with bare claws. She shared her lunch some Deathworld concoction called a sandwich that made Kiro's enhanced olfactory senses recoil. This contains deceased animal matter, Kiro observed, sniffing cautiously. Well, yeah, it's turkey. Want some? My species consumes prey alive to maintain freshness. Oh, that's different. Do you like fruit? I have grapes. They discovered that Kiro found human fruit oddly pleasant, a statement that would later appear in xenobiology journals as evidence that Theraxian dietary assumptions required revision. During afternoon studies, when the crystalline student accidentally shattered into panic fragments from proximity stress, Lyra and Kiro worked together to carefully collect each piece. The human's small fingers and the predator's surprising dexterity made them an efficient team. You are strange, Kiro observed, placing a fragment into the collection container with impossible gentleness. Yeah, humans are weird, Lyra agreed cheerfully. My dad says we're too stubborn to know when we should be scared. He says we made friends with wolves on Earth, which were like super predators, and turned them into dogs. What is dog? Best friends who used to be scary. Like you. Kiro's 6 eyes widened. You consider me a friend? Already? Sure. You helped pick up crystalline fragments, you shared your data on the math problem, and you didn't eat anyone all day. That's like perfect friend material. As the school day ended, parents arrived for collection. The sight of Kiro and Lyra walking out together, chatting about some Earth show called Cartoons, created widespread panic. Galactic news feeds would later show the moment a human child waved goodbye to a Theraxian deathstalker with genuine affection. Kiro's parents' massive beings that made their offspring look like a house cat approached with typical Theraxian intensity. They found Lyra explaining to her own father why Kiro needed to visit Earth to meet Mr. Whiskers. Your child is remarkable, Kiro's mother said to Lyra's father, her voice resonating with frequencies that rattled nearby vessels. Unafraid? Kind? Is this typical of humans? Lyra's father, a biologist who had spent years studying Earth's megafauna, smiled with that peculiar human expression that other species found unsettling. We're from a death world too, ma'am. Just a different kind. We learned long ago that the scariest things often make the best companions. We're good at making friends with monsters. We are not monsters, Kiro's father rumbled, not quite threatening. Neither are we, Lyra's father replied calmly. But the galaxy thought we were once. Some still do. Understanding passed between the Deathworld parents. Something beyond words, beyond species, the recognition that survival sometimes meant refusing to be what others feared. As families departed, Instructor Velmoth updated his reports for the Academy administration. Where he expected to write incident reports and emergency protocols, he instead noted, Student Kiro integrating successfully. Recommend continued placement. Human resilience and Theraxian restraint proving mutually beneficial. No incidents beyond minor existential crises among remaining student body. The next day, 3 more students cautiously moved their seats closer to Lyra and Kiro. By week's end, the Theraxian cub had been invited to 7 different birthday celebrations and elected class representative for environmental conservation. Efforts apparently having an apex predator advocate for protecting ecosystems carried considerable weight. The galaxy would learn slowly what Earth had known for millennia. The most dangerous predators often protect the most fiercely, and friendship recognizes no logical boundaries. Lyra simply called it having a cool friend with awesome stripes. Kiro called it learning that cute might be acceptable after all. The universe called it impossible. But then again, Deathworld children had never been particularly concerned with impossible.